the icy regions of our planet hold some of the most astonishing discoveries on Earth. Speaking of the remains of ancient life and mysterious relics from bygone eras, all of this is hidden beneath the icy crust. Scientists and explorers cannot predict what they will find. Rare artifacts that change our understanding of history, rewrite our chronology, and even deadly viruses posing a threat to all living beings on Earth have been discovered. You are on the Top Facts Black channel, and today join us as we explore 20 of the most incredible things found frozen in ice. Enjoy the viewing. In 2016, the scientific world was shaken by an amazing discovery when researchers found fossilized remains of an ichthyosaur, an ancient marine creature, in the frozen depths of Antarctica. What makes this discovery incredible is the preserved skeleton of an adult ichthyosaur and the fossilized remains of an embryo inside the mother's body, a prehistoric pregnancy captured in stone. This unique snapshot shed precious light on the reproductive biology, behavior, and evolution of these ancient marine creatures. Ichthyosaurs, resembling modern dolphins, were a fascinating group of marine reptiles that thrived during the Mesozoic era. The fossilized mother and embryo, dating back millions of years, offer a rare glimpse into the reproductive mysteries of these majestic creatures. This remarkable find suggests that ichthyosaurs were viviparous, giving birth to live young instead of laying eggs like many other reptiles. This adaptation was a true breakthrough in ancient seas, ensuring the survival of fully developed offspring rather than relying on vulnerable eggs exposed to predators. The Allan Hills meteorite, found in Antarctica, represents a fragment of the past of our solar system. These sturdy rocks have endured the harshest conditions on Earth, but hold secrets that help scientists learn how celestial bodies formed. The adventure of the Allan Hills meteorite began in December 1984, when a team in Antarctica, part of the United States Meteorite Search Program, discovered it by chance. This initial discovery opened doors to many more findings, turning Allan Hills into a treasure trove of meteorites. These space rocks mostly come from the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Surprisingly, they are all different, like pieces of a cosmic puzzle. Each one tells us something unique about the history of our solar system. In 2017, scientists discovered something astonishing in the Transantarctic Mountains, an ancient tropical forest around 90 million years old from the Cretaceous period. They made this discovery by studying the fossilized remains of ancient plants like ferns, conifers, and flowering plants. It is astonishing that Antarctica, now frozen and covered in ice, was once a tropical forest. It's like discovering a surprise from a time-traveling journey. Antarctica was closer to the South Pole during the Cretaceous period, but was not as cold as it is now. The tropical forest thrived when the continent was ice-free, and temperatures were significantly warmer. Lake Rupkund, also known as the Lake of Skeletons, located high in the Himalayas at an altitude of about 5,029 meters, hides a macabre secret beneath its clear waters, the ancient remains of hundreds of people. In 1942, the Lake of Skeletons captured the world's attention when a forest ranger made a grim discovery. While surveying the area, he stumbled upon skeletal remains of numerous human bodies scattered in and around the lake. Initially thought to be the result of a recent tragedy, further investigation revealed the ancient origins of these bones, captivating scientists, historians, and adventurers for decades. Some of the skeletons bear marks of blunt trauma, possibly from hailstones, while others show signs of sharp instrument wounds. Various physical characteristics and artifacts found with the remains hint at a gathering of people from different regions, adding an intriguing layer to the mystery of what brought them to this remote and dramatic location. The discovery of the Incan maiden Juanita in 1995 in the Andes of Peru was an astonishing event. 3 mountain explorers stumbled upon a mummy on Mount Amparo. Her body was perfectly preserved, with skin, hair, and clothing as they were in life. She was dressed in beautiful Incan clothing and surrounded by offerings such as pottery, textiles, and tools prepared as gifts to the gods. Juanita was likely a young girl aged between 12 and 15, chosen for Capacocha, or the ritual of color, where sacred maidens were sacrificed to the gods in solemn mountain ceremonies. Her journey to Mount Amparo was arduous, but significant. Today, Juanita is kept in a refrigerated room at the Museo Santuarios Andinos in Arequipa, Peru. Mount Erebus is an impressive example of our planet's dramatic geology, standing proudly over the frozen landscapes of Ross Island in Antarctica. Named after HMS Erebus from Captain James Clark Ross's expedition in 1841, this volcano is not only the southernmost active one on Earth, but also a captivating site for scientific research. At an impressive height of 3,794 meters above sea level, Mount Erebus dominates the sky over Ross Island, serving as a true symbol of Antarctica. Its powerful presence is marked by the constant plume of volcanic gas rising from its summit. What makes Erebus truly special is its persistently active lava lake in the crater, a rare feature found in only a few volcanoes worldwide. Mount Erebus is famous for its frequent volcanic activity. Eruptions occur regularly, with emissions of gases, ash, and sometimes even lava flows. The constantly active lava lake in the crater provides a unique opportunity for scientists to study an active volcano in detail. One of the most fascinating aspects of Mount Erebus is the discovery of microscopic life forms in its harsh environment. These unique microorganisms thrive in volcanic gases and extremely cold conditions, offering valuable insights into the possibility of life existing on other celestial bodies with similar conditions, such as Jupiter's moon Europa. In 2020, Russian scientists discovered the remains of a cave bear, frozen for approximately 3,500 years in the icy lands of Russia's Arctic region. The remarkable remains of the Ursus spelaeus bear were found on the Liakovsky Islands. Imagine this: the bear's body was frozen in the permafrost, with its fur, teeth, and internal organs preserved as they were in life. During the Ice Age, cave bears lived from about 2,600,000 to 11,700 years ago. These massive herbivores were related to modern brown bears and well adapted to extremely cold conditions. They preferred living in caves, which served as their cozy homes. This cave bear remained in such perfectly preserved condition thanks to the permafrost. The supercold Arctic temperatures prevented rapid decay, keeping its flesh, fur, and bones in astonishing condition. The Lenbreen tunic was found in 2011 by archaeologists in the snowy region of Jotunheimen in Norway. This perfectly preserved tunic and other interesting artifacts lay in ice and snow for centuries, protected from aging and wear. From the late 8th to early 11th century, Vikings reigned, undertaking sea raids and exploring Europe. They were known for creating amazing things and wearing durable clothing, which greatly influenced medieval history. This perfectly preserved artifact tells us much about how Vikings dressed, demonstrating their skill in crafting garments with intricate patterns. The wool tunic has a diamond twill pattern, proving that the Vikings were experts in textile craftsmanship. It was made with great care, showing how important clothing was for warmth and style among the Vikings. Antarctica, once part of the supercontinent Gondwana, holds an intriguing mystery under its icy surface: the remains of dinosaurs that once inhabited this frozen land. Despite today's harsh conditions, recent fossil finds reveal an exciting chapter in Earth's history. The first dinosaur fossil in Antarctica was discovered in the 1980s, and many more have been found since. These fossils provide valuable clues about the ancient times on this continent, helping scientists piece together how life evolved in Antarctica during the dinosaur era, spanning about 180 million years. In the Mesozoic era, Antarctica was not the frozen place it is today. It had a temperate climate, lush vegetation, and a mix of terrestrial and marine creatures. Antarctica was home to various dinosaurs, from herbivores to carnivores. The dinosaur fossils found in Antarctica include sauropods, theropods, and ornithopods, giving us insights into their size, anatomy, and behavior. Before we continue, let's give our viewers a chance to pick today's feature. On your screen, you see an image that appears to show a creature resembling a Yeti, frozen in time. While we cannot confirm the authenticity of this photo, it can be suggested that it is a Yeti. Yeti are believed to inhabit the Himalayan mountains in Asia. If true, their described traits would likely be perfectly suited for survival in harsh mountainous conditions. Thick fur and tough skin would provide exceptional protection against icy winds and extreme cold at high altitudes, adaptations that are truly impressive. The Yeti's massive muscular limbs would also be important for navigating uneven terrain. Strong legs for climbing steep slopes, and powerful arms for moving across rocky landscapes. Do you think Yetis are real? In May 2007, a nomadic reindeer herder named Yuri Kuti discovered a 40,000-year-old woolly mammoth calf named Lyuba, found on the Uribe River in Russia's Yamalo-Nenets Autonomous Okrug. This incredible discovery became one of 5 mammoth calves found over 3 decades. Lyuba, which means love in Russian, was an almost perfectly preserved healthy female about 1 to 2 months old. Research shows that Lyuba was not originally buried where she was found, but was moved by river or ice flow after being washed out of permafrost upstream. Where Lyuba spent those 40,000 years buried in permafrost remains unknown and may remain so. Lyuba was taken to Salakard in Russia after her discovery and placed in the Shemenovsky Museum of Natural History and Ethnography. A temporary transfer to Japan allowed for a CT scan conducted by Dr. Naoki Suzuki at GK University in Tokyo. The CT scan, performed before other studies, aimed at planning a partial autopsy with minimal interference with Lyuba's body. The scan results showed that Lyuba was healthy at the time of death, but had significant mud buildup in her trunk, mouth, and trachea, suggesting she suffocated in soft mud. Ernest Shackleton, a courageous British explorer, is celebrated for his remarkable expeditions to Antarctica in the early 20th century. During his Nimrod expedition from 1907 to 1909, Shackleton and his team built 2 huts on the continent, one at Cape Royds and the other at Cape Evans. These huts, standing for over 100 years, are impressive symbols of human resilience in the harshest conditions. They served as cozy shelters for Shackleton and his companions, helping them endure the freezing cold, isolation, and fierce storms, while conducting scientific research and adventurous explorations of the icy expanses. In 2017, the Antarctic Heritage Trust made a startling discovery in one of these huts, a 100-year-old fruitcake. It was wrapped in paper and placed in a tin, and despite its age, the cake still looked and tasted as it did back then, providing a tangible connection to the past. The story of Lake Vostok began in the 1950s when Soviet scientists started drilling ice in Antarctica and made an amazing discovery, a smooth layer of ice hinting at a vast lake hidden beneath, untouched for millions of years. The lake was located under 4,000 meters of ice. It's like a giant ice sandwich, and it's so cold there that the water remains liquid. But it doesn't freeze completely. Geothermal heat from Earth's interior keeps it from becoming a giant ice cube. In 2012, Russian scientists achieved an incredible feat by drilling into Lake Vostok and taking water samples from its depths. And guess what they found? Microbial life, even though it was scarce. This discovery of life in such an extreme place is astounding. It makes scientists ponder the boundaries of life, not only on Earth, but potentially on other planets or moons in our solar system. In 2015, a team of bold scientists embarked on a game-changing expedition to the icy Siberia in Russia. This area is known for its extremely cold climate and one of the oldest and best-preserved permafrosts. Permafrost is a layer of soil that remains frozen for at least 2 years on or below the surface. These scientists were primarily interested in studying how permafrost works and how it might impact the climate. They stumbled upon something unexpected while digging deep and collecting samples in the Kolyma River area. When they thawed one of the samples, they found something resembling a virus. But here's the shocking part. It wasn't just any virus. It was a new giant virus, similar to those found earlier, like Pandora viruses and pithoviruses. The malavirus is part of the giant virus group because it is significantly larger than most other viruses, up to 10 times bigger, and contains complex genetic material. This virus had been frozen for thousands of years and was still alive and infectious. This discovery made scientists wonder how global warming and the melting of permafrost might lead to the release of ancient viruses and bacteria into the atmosphere. High on the slopes of Pico de Orizaba, North America's highest volcanic peak in Mexico, an astonishing and eerie discovery was made that sent waves through the mountaineering community and local authorities. It was like a scene from a gripping crime investigation show such as CSI. The dramatic moment came when one of the climbers slipped and found himself face to face with an eerie sight, a mummified head and hands sticking out of the snow. The climber's shock turned to alarm, prompting him to immediately contact the authorities. Rumors of the discovery quickly spread, attracting attention throughout the region. Authorities went to the remote site to investigate and found something surprising and alarming. 2 more frozen mummies were discovered in the icy grasp of Pico de Orizaba. Among the investigators, an unexpected twist occurred. 81-year-old Luis Espinosa, a participant in a tragic expedition on these very slopes in 1959, stepped forward with surprising revelations. Luis Espinosa claimed he recognized one of the mummies, not by the face, but by distinctive clothing and jewelry. A man's shirt and a ring with initials became the keys to solving this grim mystery. Espinosa's memories provided essential context for the authorities, confirming that these were the remains of people who perished during that ill-fated expedition more than 60 years ago. This is a real-life mystery with a wow effect, unveiling secrets hidden in the icy heights of Pico de Orizaba. The ships of the Franklin expedition, HMS Erebus and HMS Terror, are tied to one of the most infamous tragedies in Arctic exploration. In 1845, Sir John Franklin, a British Royal Navy officer, led this expedition to discover the elusive Northwest Passage, a legendary sea route through the Arctic connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Erebus and Terror were specially reinforced for the harsh Arctic conditions and equipped with steam engines, a large library, scientific instruments, and enough provisions for several years. Despite these preparations, the expedition faced unforeseen difficulties. The ships became trapped in the ice near King William Island and could not break free. Tragically, the entire crew perished in the harsh conditions. The exact causes of their deaths remain unclear, with theories ranging from lead poisoning to extreme cold. For many years, the fate of the Franklin expedition remained a mystery. However, thanks to modern expeditions and archaeological efforts, the story has gradually become clearer. In 1928, Julio Teo, an intrepid explorer fascinated by the mysteries of Antarctica, led a daring expedition to the frozen continent. His team braved the harsh conditions and extreme cold, delving deep into the Antarctic wilderness in search of geological and archaeological clues. During their expedition, Teo's team stumbled upon an extraordinary find: elongated skulls buried under ice and snow. These skulls differed from typical human heads with their unique shapes, featuring elongated and pointed features reminiscent of ancient civilizations like the Paracas culture in Peru and ancient Egyptians. The discovery of these elongated skulls in Antarctica stunned scientists and researchers. It challenged established theories about the continent's history, suggesting the thrilling possibility of an unknown ancient civilization once inhabiting Antarctica. The skulls sparked intense study and debate within the scientific community, raising critical questions about the distant past of this icy land. A wild story circulating online since 2014 claims that cone-shaped skulls found in the Peruvian region of Paracas belong to aliens. However, DNA tests showed they are non-human, adding an extra layer of mystery. But wait, the reliability of these tests is questionable, and experts challenge the qualifications of those involved. More likely, elongated skulls result from intentional cranial modification, a practice seen in various cultures. Despite the hype, reliable sources have not confirmed that these skulls belong to anything other than humans. Meet the Iceman Ötzi, also known as the Similan Man, one of the most remarkable discoveries of the 20th century. In 1991, in the Ötztal Alps on the border of Austria and Italy, several hikers found a mummy protruding from the ice. Ötzi lived approximately 5,300 years ago in the late Neolithic period. He is one of the oldest human bodies ever found in a naturally preserved state. His body tells us how people lived in Europe during those times. It's like a time capsule. The way Ötzi was preserved is astonishing. After his death, snow and ice covered him, protecting him from scavengers and preventing decay. The super cold conditions dried out his body, turning it into a natural mummy. The slow movement of the glacier also played a significant role in keeping him perfectly preserved for thousands of years. Ötzi wore a grass cape and a fur hat, showing he knew a lot about staying warm. His backpack contained fascinating tools, such as a copper axe, arrows, and a knife made from animal hides. These finds indicate he was a smart and skilled survivor in the harsh conditions of the Alps. Sadly, Ötzi's story ends tragically, with an arrowhead found in his shoulder, suggesting a violent death. The study of his body revealed joint problems and stomach parasites. He was likely a traveler and belonged to a close-knit group, given his preserved tattoos, which might have had special significance. Today, Ötzi is housed in a museum in Bolzano, Italy, and continues to captivate scientists and visitors. A recent discovery has alarmed scientists: a vast amount of toxic mercury hidden deep within the melting permafrost of the Arctic. This alarming discovery raises concerns among environmentalists and researchers about the fragile balance of the Arctic ecosystem. To highlight the seriousness of this, scientists found an enormous 56 million liters, or a staggering 15 million gallons of mercury, trapped in the icy grasp of Arctic permafrost. The implications of this hidden mercury are serious and grim. As global temperatures rise and permafrost melts, there is a significant risk of this toxic substance being released into the environment. Once released, mercury can seep into water supplies, posing a major threat to ecosystems and human health. The main concern is that mercury could enter the water supply. As it accumulates in aquatic organisms, it can move up the food chain, reaching dangerous levels for marine and terrestrial animals. This buildup of mercury in fish and wildlife can lead to serious health risks for humans who consume contaminated products. And that's not all. Releasing mercury into the atmosphere can lead to its spread over long distances, contaminating areas far from the source. This airborne distribution of mercury only exacerbates the global nature of the problem, raising questions about widespread environmental pollution and the need for international cooperation to address its consequences. Siberia, known for its vast frozen landscapes, captures the world's attention with its stunning natural phenomenon: frozen sinkholes, also known as methane craters. These mysterious openings in Siberian permafrost reveal complex geological processes and show how climate change is impacting the region. These frozen sinkholes form when methane, trapped beneath the Siberian permafrost, is released. As global temperatures rise, the permafrost thaws, destabilizing the once frozen ground. This allows methane, a potent greenhouse gas, to escape from underground reservoirs. When the gas accumulates and reaches a critical point, eruptions can occur, creating these unique craters. The frozen sinkholes in Siberia do not remain static. They are dynamic and continue to change. Some have mounds around them, while others display a mixture of ice, soil, and debris. These features provide scientists with valuable clues about the geological history of the region and the interactions between permafrost, ice, and gas. The release of methane from these craters is concerning because of its impact on global climate change. Methane is a strong greenhouse gas that heats the Earth more quickly than carbon dioxide in the short term. With the increasing frequency of these craters in Siberia, more methane is entering the atmosphere, accelerating global warming. This remarkable phenomenon has significant implications for the future of our planet. The story of Maurice Wilson is filled with courage and tragedy, set against the majestic backdrop of Mount Everest. In 1934, this daring British aviator set out on a solo journey to reach the summit of Everest, but his quest ended in premature death, leaving his frozen body as a stark reminder of the mountain's unforgiving nature. Born in 1898, Maurice Wilson was a man with audacious dreams. Self-taught in flying, he became fascinated with Everest and devised a bold plan to climb the world's tallest peak. Despite limited flying and mountaineering skills, his unconventional strategy was to crash land a small plane near Everest's base camp. Wilson intended to ascend the summit alone, a feat that had eluded even seasoned climbers. His expedition met with skepticism and criticism from the mountaineering community and British authorities, who saw his venture as reckless and doomed to fail. Despite the doubts, he embarked on his perilous journey. In April 1934, Wilson crash-landed in Tibet near the mountain. Spending months acclimatizing and climbing, his lack of experience and inadequate equipment became evident in the harsh Himalayan conditions. Yet he persisted. On May 31, 1934, Maurice Wilson's frozen body was found on the slopes of Everest by a British expedition led by Eric Shipton. He had died attempting to conquer the summit alone, succumbing to extreme cold and hazardous conditions. This is an awe-inspiring story of audacity faced with nature's formidable challenges. So, these were the incredible ice finds that are hard to believe. If you enjoyed the episode and want to see more like it, write comments, like the video, and subscribe to the Top Facts Black channel. It really means a lot to us. And right now, check out one of the previous episodes that have appeared on your screen.